he says, I need you to download this tape, this Sandy Beach tape. Sandy Beach is a big speaker. The speech was, he was talking about this Chinese farmer. This Chinese farmer and his son, they're picking radishes about the ground, and they don't own the land that they're farming off of. They're barely subsisting. They're giving 70% to the landowner. They're living off of 30% of these radishes. Their whole financial legacy is tied up into this workhorse. And one day, and the son is really working the land because the man is too old. And one day the workhorse runs up off the hill. He just fucks off. He's up the hill. And the son runs into the house and he shakes his dad up and he says, "Dad, you're not gonna believe this is a travesty. We're gonna die out here. I can't get these radishes to grow unless I turn this land over, and I can't move that hoe without the horse, and the horse is gone. This is a nightmare." And the old man, nonplussed, looks at his son. He goes, "I don't know what this is, son. I don't know if it is a nightmare. I can't call it." And the son thinks his dad's out to lunch, or like ambivalent, or something's wrong, or he's too old. And a couple days later, the kid is chilling on the porch and he sees the horse running down the hill with 50 wild stallions behind it. And they run into the paddock and he locks the paddock and he runs inside and he hits the dad. He's like, "Man, this is fuck radishes. Like, we're rich, you know, we're in the horse business. We're in the horse trading business now. This is a miracle, Dad. I'm gonna go tell everybody we're trading horses now." And the father looks at his son nonplussed again and says, "I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a miracle. I can't call it." And a couple more days pass and the son's trying to break these horses down, domesticate these horses. He doesn't know anything about horses. He's a radish farmer. So one of the horses ain't having it. And he rears up, kicks him in his leg. It's like 1400s China. There's no Kaiser Permanente. His shit is shattered. Yeah. They wrap him in some like tobacco leaves and sprinkle some mint on it, go sit in a chair for a while. And he's wailing and the townspeople hear about it. And the townspeople run up on the little shack and, "Oh man, what are you gonna do? You know, you can't domesticate these horses. You can't move this hoe. You guys are fully fucked. I don't know what you're gonna do, but this is pretty much the end, right? Like, this is a nightmare." And the old man says, "I don't know what this is." He looks at his son's leg. He goes, "I don't know what this is. I can't really call it." A couple more days pass. He's sitting with his son. He's trying to calm him down. He's in the middle of pain, and they hear this thunderous noise, and they look up on the ridge line, and they see 5,000 samurai on horseback running towards their little hut. And the commanding officer gets off his horse and says, "Give us your son. We're going to fight the Maoist army." And he looks at his son's leg, and he looks back at the samurai army, and he goes, "I would, but he can't get out the chair. You know, he can't get on his, he can't. No, I can't. I would, but I can't. He's crippled." And the man gets back on his horse and 8,000 men ride off to their death. And I listen to this tape and I'm driving back from the beach back to where I'm living, and I get out of my car and her bags are packed. She's on her way out. And old me would have written a haiku poem in blood and ripped my shirt off Hulk Hogan style, ran down the street and jumped over the fence, and that guy, climbed the hair up the thing. Boombox in the air guy. That's what I came up on. And something in me from having heard what I just heard, what feels like this is now I can't get no lower. I hear this like I can't call it. And it becomes like the most diplomatic breakup I ever had in my life. And I say, "What can I do? And can I get you a car?" And she goes, "No, don't worry about it. Go get well." And I go walk into my house and I call my dude up and I'm like, "Man, I think this shit is working. Like, man, this is a miracle. Like, this is the most diplomatic thing I ever." And I'm in my meeting, I'm telling all the dudes, like, "I think this program's really working in my life, man." And then I got 5 days sober and they're like, "Bro, I think you're pink clouding. Why don't you go to another fucking meeting, Jack?" And I go on to this other meeting. Now, the whole time I've been doing this for the first 5 days, I'm on the phone with a lawyer. Like, "Look, this is true, but this isn't true. And I got receipts for this, and I'm not gonna do this, and and I'm fighting tooth and nail. I'm on the phone with the agents, and the manager's like, "Listen, you gotta believe me," and blah, 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 and doing that shit, right? My sponsor's telling me the whole time, he's like, "Look, you're gonna have to let go, dog. Like, the wind's at your back. Just let go. You know, all this like fighting and fuck around, like, let go, man. That's childish." And I'm hearing him, but I'm not doing it. You know, I'm on the phone with him, and I'm hanging up the phone, I'm fighting this thing, and I got a lawyer who's like, "You need to go to rehab for anger management. Because when you go to court, no AA is gonna mean shit, you know? Addicts had already juiced that route for so long that it don't mean nothing. We need clinical receipts that you're doing something, right?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to rehab. I've always really like cultivated my brown bagger, right? Like, I don't like wearing new shoes. So this idea that I was gonna pay all this money to go pet a horse and make a friendship bracelet, it felt like, man, this shit's like, that's not sexy. You know, I found AA for real. I'm really in my shit now. I don't I don't want to go to this rehab. I'm
Especially you don't want to go to it because somebody's saying that's going to get you off. Look, it's all about the intentionality. You got to not stop. It's not about not saying the right thing because you're worried about getting in trouble. You say the right thing because you believe the fucking right thing.
It's that, and it's also I'd already done this.
Right.
I'd already gone to rehab, wrote a script, and played that game.
Right.
You know, focus.
And it didn't work. Man.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
To focus on like my childhood trauma isn't where my problem lies. My problem doesn't lie in what people did to me.
What led you to a place with more wiggle room, and now you don't have it?
And so I'm telling them, nah, I don't want to do this, you know, and I'm telling the lawyer, like, I don't want to do this, and look, yeah, this and this, and I'm fighting all this shit, and I sign on to this AA meeting. This is where I'm talking about, like, miraculous shit started to pop off in my life. And my dude sent me there because his mom was taking a chip for like 37 years. And the woman who took a chip right after his mother was the woman I lost my virginity to, who when I was 19 years old, I held a knife to her neck. And everything in that moment, it felt like I heard God's voice say, I'm everywhere. You can't run no more. And like my whole fucking, all my planning and like all this like, just went gone. That really happened, you know? And I remember it vividly. And I wrote her in the chat box like, did my dude tell you to come? Like, do you know this guy and this guy? She's like, nah, I'm in here because my people are getting chips, you know? But it's good to see you. I knew you were on your way here. You know, I hope you get it this time.